Behaviorism. Psychology changed dramatically during the early 20th century as behaviorism rose to dominance. Behaviorism was a major change from previous theoretical perspectives, rejecting the emphasis on both the conscious and unconscious mind. Instead, behaviorism strove to make psychology a more scientific discipline by focusing purely on observable behavior. Behaviorism had its earliest start with the work of a Russian psychologist named Ivan Pavlov. Pavlov's research led to his discovery of the classical conditioning process, which demonstrated that behaviors could be learned via conditioned associations. Pavlov demonstrated that this learning process could be used to make an association between environmental stimulus and a naturally occurring stimulus. The impact of behaviorism was enormous, and this school of thought continued to dominate for the next 50 years. Psychologist B.F. Skinner furthered behaviorism with his concept of operant conditioning, which demonstrated the effect of punishment and reinforcement on behavior. Skinner's theory is based upon the idea that learning is a function of change in behavior. Changes in behavior are the result of an individual's response to stimuli that occur in the environment. While behaviorism eventually lost its hold on psychology, the basic principles of behavioral psychology are still widely in use today. Therapeutic techniques such as behavioral modification and token economies are often used to help children learn new skills and overcome poor behavior, while conditioning is used in many situations, ranging from parenting to education. The application of behaviorist theory to the classroom has generally been referred to as direct instruction. Although these approaches have been criticized for use in general education settings, they have shown promising research results, particularly for children with learning problems. Therefore, it is worth considering the positive aspects of the behaviorist's approach so that they can be combined with some of the ideas that have become more popular in the general education setting. One strategy associated with structured approaches to teaching involves breaking down the tasks into small, manageable segments for teaching. Before conducting a science lesson on sound, for example, the teacher could simplify a complex science task by introducing and teaching only one step of the scientific method so that the procedures and purposes are clear prior to going over all of the steps involved. Modeling is another important component of direct instructional techniques. In the writing process, for example, it is important for a teacher to explain and demonstrate each stage. It is not enough to name and give some examples of pre-writing strategies. The teacher might actually demonstrate for the whole class, and perhaps individually, exactly how each step is accomplished. When writing a paper, the teacher could guide the students in coming up with ideas and making a graphic organizer of topics. In most direct instruction, there is a great deal of practice and review of new learning until mastery occurs, whether it is multiplication facts, geography words, or vocabulary related to a biology lesson. Direct instructional lessons provide extensive drill and practice time. Direct teaching also involves a great deal of structure and systematic planning. Students tend to achieve when they know what to expect. In other words, lessons are predictable. They are then able to focus attention to the new material being taught rather than the unique features of a lesson. One of the assumptions of behaviorist thought is that the environment determines the behavior. Behavioral teaching and learning tends to focus on skills that will be used later. You learn facts about American history, for example, because it is assumed that knowing those facts will make you a better citizen when you are an adult. You learn basic mathematics skills because you may need them when you get a job. Behavioral learning does not, however, generally ask you to put the skills or knowledge you learn into use in a real situation. That will come later when you graduate and get a job. The behaviorist believes learning is passive. Students must learn the correct response. Learning requires external reward. Knowledge is a matter of remembering information. Understanding is a matter of seeing existing patterns. Teachers must direct the learning process. Applications require the learner to see relationships among problems. Behavioral theories support a number of different approaches to teaching. Almost all of them fall under the general category of direct or teacher-centered instruction.